Hey, you got to check out Dave's new truck. Two-tone is all the rage now, you know. Red on the front, blue on the back. Hey, it's an F350, pretty good deal I think he found on that truck, and it's helping us today. We're at the Tower property near Lafayette, Indiana. Well, we're gonna clean this place up. We did just the minimum last year, and today we're going to do more than that. We brought the mini excavator and mulcher. We've got 2 brush piles to clean up. Now, Dave's been keeping the front part mowed more frequently, like a lawn, right? The back part is grown up a little bit more, and we're gonna mow that with Johnny 3 here and a 6-foot Rhino. Gonna get some brush off of the building back over here and just do some general cleanup. Maybe if we have time, get around the fence row and clean that up. Yeah, this is a long distance for us to travel, so getting multiple machines here is an effort. But I hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Hey Dave, it's a good time for me to start negotiating with you about something.
Possibly.
I think I got you in a good position.
We should have brought the ladder.
Have I ever told you guys I hate mulberry trees?
Aye, laddie, you have.
I find this kind of funny because Dave hates using the battery chainsaw. Not because it's ineffective. No, he knows it's very effective and easy to handle. That's why he's using it, but he misses that loud noise, the smell, and I think just all the masculinity surrounding a 2-stroke chainsaw. Roof must be in good shape, Dave.
I haven't fallen through yet.
Now, we have limitations on how much equipment we can transport this far, so we tried to optimize today. And we decided that Johnny 3, the 3046R with the precision manufacturing grapple, and the Rhino 6-foot single spindle mower would be the best compromise. I don't want to run over this grass repeatedly before it's mowed, so I'll just mow it on my first trip around here. I don't think I quite have room to stay in the area that Dave keeps mowed with the zero turn, so I'll just mow another strip while I'm taking the first load back to the pile. I assume that's a well cover there, that PVC pipe that's all busted up. That pipe's been broken since we started maintaining the property, but certainly throwing those limbs off and picking them up with the grapple did not help it at all. It's in worse shape than ever. Not quite sure how to fix it on the cheap. Maybe I could just take a piece of 8-inch PVC and set over the top of it. Here's what it looked like before we started. Now that's actually an improvement over last year. Dave has been working with the zero turn to get in and under there. But hopefully we've got it trimmed back enough now that we can get through it and keep it from getting all overgrown again. You might have wondered how large of a tree I can take down with this Mongo fixed head mulcher. Well, I think this is about it right here. Well, I suppose it will handle a little bit larger tree, but it's going to get less and less efficient. I'm starting by mulching as many of the small limbs as I can. It's a lot easier to mulch them while they're still attached to the tree. When I get to the trunk, this one's probably close to 1 foot in diameter, maybe more. It takes longer. I have to wait for the rotor to spin back up after I take all the momentum out of it. A little more hydraulic flow and pressure would help a lot, but just like reach on these excavators, there's never enough.
Did we bring a rake?
Yes, we did. It should be in the back of Tim's truck. At least I put one in the gator.
Now when it comes to mowing, we chose the 6-foot single spindle cutter because it's 3-point hitch mount instead of pull type like the 10-foot flex wing. This is not optimal for the mowing task itself. The 10-foot flex wing gets it done faster and does a better job. Oh, and it's more fun to operate too. But since we knew we were going to have a significant amount of grapple work, it was going to be hard to deal with a pull-type mower driving in and backing it up all the time, as well as not having nearly as much rear ballast. So that's why the 6-foot mower got the call today. We've got to it fairly early this spring, so the grass hasn't grown very high, and that's the optimal time to hit it with a single spindle mower. If you wait until the grass is full height, then the tractor just mashes it down, and the mower can't pick it back up to cut it. I'm going to be quiet now and just let you enjoy the mowing for a few minutes. Meanwhile, I'm making pretty good progress on these brush piles. Having said that, there are a couple of pretty big logs and a stump in there that are just too big to be mulched with my mulcher. Even though they've been in there a long time, they still haven't rotted. I think I'll clean up this pile and then we'll move the logs that couldn't be mulched down to the other pile. And over the long run, that'll at least make it a little bit easier to mow. In case you're new to our channel or just haven't caught any of these tower maintenance videos, we maintain 3 towers. This is one of them. There's another about 15 miles from here, and then there's one right behind our house. Several years ago, the tower property right behind our house was growing up pretty bad, and I reached out to the owner of that property, and that's how we got connected. They've been very flexible with us, and I think they actually kind of enjoy the videos as well. They get an opportunity to see their tower from, a lot of different angles, including above. The flexibility means a lot to us. Of course, we have to keep it mowed on a reasonable schedule, but these more serious cleanup efforts like we're doing today can be done as we get time. After our efforts today, I think we'll have this one in pretty good shape. I wish we could get rid of the rest of the brush, but the wind is such here that it's hard to ever find a good day to burn, especially so far from home. So we'll probably just keep mulching it periodically and seeing if we can get it to rot and eventually get out of our way. Now, as far as the mowing goes, we're actually ahead of schedule. We usually wait until this grass gets grown up a lot more. But while we had the time, we decided we'd get on it and get that first cutting done. Spring's a great time to mow. It isn't hot yet, and we don't have seeds and bugs and everything trying to get in your face, so yeah, it's fun to mow this time of year. This is the pile we just cut earlier off of the top of the garage building there. I'm going to try to mulch it as much as I can. Some of those big logs, maybe if I can just get them kind of sawed open a little bit, maybe they'll rot.
Dave's working on consolidating this pile into one new pile.
Given that we had a lot of mulberries growing up into the old pile, we're going to move this pile while we consolidate it. This should give us a little bit more time before mulberries get big in it again.
Hand grapple.
And we'll just keep the other area where the old piles were mowed, and that way trees won't be able to grow up there either. These limbs just keep creeping out from the fence row itself, and as they grow out, we can't mow under it as far. That allows new sprouts to grow up, and the whole fence row just gets bigger and bigger and bigger over the years. You might notice that one of my GPS receivers is hanging there dangling. I didn't see it quick enough, did I? I used magnets to attach those receivers because, quite frankly, I wasn't sure if the system was going to work well enough to be a permanent welded addition. It turns out to be good enough to be permanent, so I need to get those welded on. Meanwhile, I eventually found it and got it reattached. This is a very good application for this mulcher. We're tackling stuff that's really too big for most brush mowers, and in many cases, the limbs are way up on the tree, so I can reach up and get them at their source. Managing or fighting back these fence rows is a constant battle for a lot of farmers, at least in this area. And this rig is well suited to handle it. It's small enough to easily trailer to the destination, and yet it can reach high enough to get enough of those limbs down that you can still farm under them. My family typically uses a backhoe, a Case 580 with an extend-a-hoe, and they just reach up and knock the limbs down, and then they have to deal with the piles. In this case, most of it just disappears. Now Dave's getting a lot better at handling this precision grapple. This task requires a couple of different things. First, it requires a grapple with just the right geometry to be able to pull this off. And then it requires a driver to know exactly how to angle it, when to curl it, how far to curl it. Notice the front clamps there just above ground level. And he's able to get the entire load. Nearly perfect job. Christy has hand raked this into a windrow. Notice it's only half width. That allows us to see the teeth there on the bottom right side of the screen here. And you want that angle so that they're right on the ground where they can pick up all the material, but where they don't dig in. You can also see the strip just to the right. That was the last part that we saw picked up. Almost all gone. No need to even go back and rake again. These two pickups eliminated lots of manual labor. Dave, you got my big mouth dirty.
I know. It did a lot of work today, though.
Yeah?
I have a new proposition for this tractor. I'd like to start calling it overkill.
I don't think it was overkill today, though, so I'm not sure that name fits.
Yeah, but this tractor is almost always overkill.
This was, well, now that we got those bigger cylinders on it, the big mouth grapple, this is quite a machine.
Yes, it is.
And we've made this place a lot better than when we started, wouldn't you say?
I'm not sure about how it's going to get mowed after this, but yes, I think that for the long run, we've done a lot of work.
Yeah, the weekly mower guy may have a little bit of trouble here for a little while, but...
it's all right, yeah. I know where to borrow stuff from.
Maybe a good week to borrow a mower instead of using your own? Is that what you're thinking?
I think the Ventrax probably got its name up, so...
We started with two big brush piles here that had trees growing up in them, and as you can see, some of those trees were getting close to my limit for mulching, so I'm glad we did this finally this year.
Yeah, they were big.
I've been wanting to do that for a couple of years on this particular tower property. Trimmed the bushes, got the trees off the top of the garage thing back there, Also took some time and mulched around the edge of the fence row. Got that pushed back a little
Which is
bit. So,
appreciative for the guy that mows it.
yeah, I think that'll help the mowing job right next to the fence row, because a lot of times we had limbs leaning out where the tractor.
Yep.
And if we'd have left that for a couple more years, we'd have been like the tower by our house, where we'd have had just rows and rows of trees and stuff.
Yeah, just progressively going to
going.
get worse and worse and
Yeah.
worse.
We got a little more work to do here sometime. Well, we could probably mow it with a brush mower now. We need to get this a little bit better, but this is a huge improvement. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. A person can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in their own toil. This too, I see, is from the hand of God, for without him, who can eat or find enjoyment?